Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Eli and I like to talk about books. Today we're gonna do a haul because 2 weeks ago, less than, I moved from Canada to the States and I've bought a lot of books since then. Oh, here's another book that I bought. Wow, isn't that crazy? So many books. Anyway, yes, so I moved very recently back home. Basically, I was up in Canada for school and now I'm back home, and so I spent a lot of money on buying books that I really didn't need because I have a lot of books and I bought a lot of books, and I'm really gonna have to do a book buying ban, you know, if you will. That way if I see a bookstore I can go genius. Okay, what am I talking about? Yes, I have a book haul for you today. Oh boy, let's just get into it before I actually start crying. A tear came to my eye. Oh my god. Okay. All right, I have been reading a lot. I'm gonna cry. Whoa. I'm crying because it's ridiculous, okay? I'm not sad, it's ridiculous. Why am I crying? Oh my god, my eyeballs are sweating. Okay, let's start with the books that I bought online. Okay, so one book I bought an ebook of, and I have already read it and it was wonderful, and it was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I really expected it to be like, remember that series? I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool it, brother. Okay. It was like a series. I don't know. If I told you that I'd have to kill you or something like that, and they were like spies at boarding school, they were teenagers. I don't know. I kind of expected A Girl's Guide to Murder to be like that. I have already read it. It's about this girl in sixth form, which is a British version of like 11th and 12th grade. I don't know whether she's in 12th grade. I think she is in 12th grade equivalent, 13th year, sixth form, sixth form year. Anyway, she basically, for her like school project or whatever, investigates murder. Anyway, a murder and suicide, but she's like, I don't think the guy who was convicted did it. And she basically gets really, really in depth into this alleged murder. And it's actually very interesting. It was cool. I read it for a video I'm doing. You know, I never would have picked it up, but I'm so glad I did. It's very, if you're a fan of true crime podcasts, I think it's a book that you would like. That's the right kind of vibe. Investigative journalism, but also there's a little bit of humor. But the next books that I bought online are rather not embarrassing. Embarrassing is not the right word. They come from a place in my heart that's very committed to a certain person, and that person's Alice Oseman. I ordered as many of the UK editions of her novels that I could, which I believe was Radio Silence, Loveless, and I Was Born for This. I did not order, oh, and Solitaire. I think I ordered all four. I might not have actually ordered Radio Silence because it's out of stock. Not exactly sure which ones are coming in the mail, but I did order all four at a certain point, and I believe I'm getting 3 of those 4. Not sure. I do already own Loveless, and I have read all of them. I own Loveless and Radio Silence, but I own the US editions of both of those books, and I wanted the matching UK editions, and it's kind of silly, I know. And so, alongside ordering the 4 UK editions, I also pre-ordered the US edition of I Was Born for This and the Heartstopper yearbook. I really like Alice Oseman. So, I can't find This Winter anywhere, which is the second Nick and Charlie novella, but I am gonna get that one when I can find a copy that's available for sale. So don't try me, okay? I really like Alice Oseman. But yes, that's another book haul. I'll do I'm gonna do a few of these books that I bought, and then I will continue on to my online journey. So I bought 3 toilet-bound Hanako-san books. Hanako-kun, sorry. This is volume 3, this is volume 2, and this is volume 0. They don't have volume 4 at my local bookstore, or any of the bookstores I've gone to, actually, looking for them. So I've already read one, as you might be able to see. I don't have it here with me but I've already read all these ones as well, and I also ordered books, volumes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I believe. Oh my goodness. I'm getting a little bit obsessive. I don't want to talk about it, okay? This is my favorite, this is incredible. It's so fun and silly, and just, this guy is a mystery of the school and he lives in a toilet. How is that not awesome? So anyway, yes, I picked up these 3 books and I bought 3 or 4 more from the same series. So that's another section of my book haul. The manga. Speaking of manga, I also got the second Tokyo Ghoul. I haven't read this one yet, but I will in the next couple days, I'm sure. And then once I'm done this one, I'm gonna go get 3 if I want to, and then 4. You know how it goes, okay? It's kind of embarrassing. I also bought Naruto Volume 1 again for a video. I didn't like it as much as this. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is like the best manga I've ever read in my entire life. I don't read that many mangas. As you can see, I've read 2 series and 1 Naruto. I love this. Anyway, yes, I read Naruto number 1. I bought it on an ebook for a video. I didn't love it. I mean, I loved it, yes, I really liked it, but it's not one that I'm gonna like continue. I didn't love it as much as this guy, and I need to like focus my energy on 1 manga, or 1 or 2 mangas. Now, I believe that covers all the books that I've purchased online, as well as all the mangas. So let's continue to like the actual, let's just say actual real books. I mean, actual physical books that I've bought, or that I have, because like, and listen, I'm gonna start crying again if I get into it. So anyway, we're moving. So the first place I went is the local bookstore in the neighborhood that I live in, because I read 2 of the 3 Talia Hibbert romances, and I got here, and I thought I have to read the next one, and so I bought Take a Hint, Denny Brown. It's wonderful. I mean, like, it's wonderful. But yeah, it's just the second of the 3 novels, and it's a fake dating romance instead of enemies to lovers kind of thing. So it was really fun. I love Talia Hibbert. Her romances are very much like real people leading real lives, and that is very cool. I enjoy that. It's not just, hey. It's just a real person. Danny Brown, all the Brown sisters are just wonderful, and all the love interests are so wonderful. Redford, but like, they're just all wonderful. They're all wonderful. Hands down. Read a Talia Hibbert romance if you haven't already. The next book that I bought at the local bookstore, I've been wanting to get this for a while, and it was just an impulse. I saw it in paperback finally. An impulse buy that like I knew I was gonna buy one day, so I don't really consider that an impulse buy, because like I had heard of it before. And that's Second Place by Rachel Cusk. This is about a woman who invites an artist to stay at her estate, and she falls in love with him. She thinks he can help her solve the problems going on in her life. I don't know. I'm interested in reading more Rachel Cusk, and this one seems to be the most recent, I think. It just came out in paperback, so I'm excited to read it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go over, I got a couple books from my grandma because she's a cool lady, that's why. Okay, so one of the books that I took from her, but I mean she gave me, is The Plague by Albert Camus. I have read this. I read it last year. Very good. Wonderful. So it's just more to have my own copy. The plague comes to this town in North Africa. It's about a doctor and the town and stuff goes on. It's not, I read it during the pandemic, which I don't know if I'd recommend, but it is really good. Camus writes really wonderfully. Highly recommend. And my grandma had a copy, and I just kind of took it from her. She gave it to me. Then these last 2 I'm just borrowing, okay? I will put a sticky note on them so that in the coming years, when the library thins down even more, I get them. Don't worry, okay? I want these books. The first one is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Just look at how cool of a copy that is. Like, it's just really cool. It's perennial classics, and it costs 75 cents. Since when do books cost 75 cents? Yeah. Cool, right? Anyway, I'm just really happy. This is such a cool copy, and I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna give it back to her, but I might put my name on it somewhere. Anyway, that one's cool. And then the next one I'm borrowing from her, The ABC Murders by Agatha Christie, because I don't know, why not? It's Poirot, and I like the Poirot novels. I watched the movie Death on the Nile recently, and it's just fun. So yeah, borrowed that. I don't know what either of these books are really about. I could get better at doing hauls, but I don't want to today, so I got these. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. I'll do the ones that I bought today because that's fun. I went to the bookstore today. I went for one reason, to get the next 2 Dune books. I'm about a third of the way through Dune, the first one, and I really like it. Actually, way more than I thought I would. I thought I wouldn't like it, and I was just reading it to basically read it, like to get it over with. But I'm on my second time reading it. Like, I read to the end of part 1, I guess, like 2 years ago, and I really didn't like it, and now I'm reading it again, and I'm like, wow, the reason I didn't like it is because I wasn't in the mood for politics, And now that I actually care about the politics more in Dune, so I really am enjoying the book. So I just bought Dune Messiah. That's what I went to go buy today. And then I thought, well, if I'm gonna get Dune Messiah, I'm not gonna be able to get away without buying Children of Dune, because like I need both. I need to finish the trilogy. I can't just not finish the trilogy. If I'm buying the second one, I might as well buy the third one. So I did. And I have both of the Dune follow-ups, and that's exciting. And I don't know what they're about, and I don't care. I'm assuming they're gonna follow the same plot character arcs that Dune is following. So yeah, haven't watched the movie yet, but it's coming soon enough. The next book I bought today was just a book I wanted to buy, and that is Freshwater. I read The Death of Vivek Oji. I love this author. They're incredible. The death of Vivek Oji just like grabbed my heart and was like, haha, you want this back? No, and threw it away. And I was like, that's fine. You know what? You can do that. That's okay. So I picked this one up because they being the author, Mezi, has a new book coming out. I thought it was already out, but I couldn't find it in the bookstore, so I picked this up instead because I also want to read this, because I want to read everything that this author writes, because wow. I think this is about a girl, Ada, I don't know, split personalities, perhaps, or she's growing up in parallel universes. I don't know. I'm really interested in finding out more about this and reading it. I believe it's their debut novel, and it's just got a lot of good reviews and stuff, and so wow. Side note, if you live in the county or you have a library card from Illinois County Library and you know how to use their ebook system, you can always read The Death of Vivek Oji. I'm not sure about Freshwater, but you can definitely read The Death of Vivek Oji without a wait time, because they have it like constantly available because of a promotion for Black authors. It's like you always can read these like 30 books by acclaimed Black authors. So yeah, if you're interested and you have a Multnomah County Library card and you use Libby or Overdrive or Kindle or whatever, you can read The Death of Vivek Oji for free without a wait time. Highly recommend. Would highly recommend. That's how I did it. Incredible. I'm really excited to read this. The Death of Vivek Oji was awesome, and so if this is anything like that, I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be 5 stars. I don't know what to tell you. It just will be. So one of the next books I picked up today is totally an impulse buy. Never heard of it. It was either a new arrival at Powell's, or it was a bestseller, or like a staff pick. I don't know. It was in the orange room on the wall, and I just, as I was checking out, like not as I was checking out, but I was going to check out, and I was like, I'll just look at these books, and I picked two more up. So the first one is an Apprenticeship, or the Book of Pleasures by Clarice Lispector. Never heard of it. It's about basically someone who doesn't connect well with adults and is a primary school teacher, and I feel like I relate to that. Like, I don't connect well with people in general, but kids are so much more easy to connect to. And just, yeah, the paragraph on the back that really made me like pick this book up says, Clarice Lispector explores the ways in which people try to bridge the gaps between them, and the result, an unusual love story, surprised many readers and became a bestseller. That sounds cool. It sounds interesting to me, and so I picked it up, and it's not very long, so I'm very excited to read this. And the last book that I picked up today, again, was on the shelf in the orange room at Powell's, which is, you know what? All the shelves have very cool books. I almost picked up a third book from that shelf, but then it was in hardback, and I don't love hardbacks, so I decided to pass just that day. So the last book I picked up today was This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. I think it's a horror novel, which I've been looking for a good horror novel, and this one just like, the cover was just so that I picked it up. So let's read the back cover together, because look at that cover. The front cover is so cool. Ever since Vera and Thiago bought the Itza, life has gotten ... strange. The ads for the world's most advanced smart speaker didn't mention scratching in the walls, eerie music in the dead of night, or peculiar packages. Who ordered industrial strength lie? It's weird but amusing, right up until Vera is killed and Thiago's world becomes unbearable. The only thing left to do is to get it far away from Chicago as possible. But Thiago soon realizes there is no escape, not from his guilt, not from his anger, and not from the evil hunting him, feeding on his pain, looking for a way into his world. A startling, darkly funny horror novel, so how could I not want to read that? And also the cover, guys! One of the next books I picked up for a video is Quantum Mechanics, The Theoretical Minimum by Leonard Susskind and Art Friedman. Again, this is for a video. I don't really know that much or care that much about quantum mechanics, but it sounds interesting and I'm gonna read it. I mean, I like math, so it's actually a lot of more math formulas. It's more formulaic than I thought it would be. Cool. I'm excited to read this. Again, I assume this is about quantum mechanics. Again, I bought it for video, not because I'm personally just like, wow, that sounded so cool. Another book I bought recently is Search History by Eugene Lim. The back cover, the first sentence is, Frank Exit is dead. Or is he? Sounded interesting. And then it was shouted out, it was blurbed in the New Yorker book review. So, yeah, I bought it. Seems fun, short. Oh, he's been reincarnated as a dog. Cool. Okay. I'm excited to read this. I can't lie. We're getting to the end of the book haul, sort of. I have 5 more books. So one of the books is a book my mom bought, but she basically was like, I'm only gonna buy it if you're gonna read it. And I said, yep. And so I'm gonna count it in this. And that is A Swim in a Pond in the Rain by George Saunders, which is, I believe, he reads classic Russian short stories. Like, he puts them in the book and then he tells you how to read them. And it's cool and fun, and I don't know, my mom picked it up and then I was like, sure. So, and I wanted to read George Saunders for a while, so we're doing it. This book I bought, I've already read. It's a graphic novel. It's called How to Be Ace, a memoir, growing up asexual. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. Graphic novels sometimes are very short, and graphic memoirs are even harder because there are so many nuances, and it's just, this one felt a little bit too, I'm asexual, here's how it works. And I was like, okay, but what about, like, you? I don't know. Didn't love it. The next book I bought, I actually have absolutely no idea. It's The Ancestry of Objects by Tatiana Rickman. It is told in the plural first person, and that is why I picked it up. Literally no other reason. Also, it was a staff pick at Powell, so like, duh, I always trust those, you know? Listen, it's intensely sensory and urgently erotic, so that's cool. I don't know. Again, it's short and cool, and it's a fun shape. Look at that. Whoops, I always do that. Like, it's kind of square. I don't know. I just want to read it. 2 more books to mention. The first one is The Loved One by Evelyn, I don't know. It's by Evelyn Woe. It's The Loved One. I don't know. He wrote Brideshead Revisited, which I read because Charlie Spring read it. It's one of his favorite books, of course. That's the only reason I would read anything, is because Charlie Spring recommended it. Didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But I want to give Evelyn Woe more chances. And this one was short, and it was $3, and it's just like cool. Like, look how beat up it is, and like, it's not actually in great condition once I came home and opened it up, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna read it, and I might not like it. I might love it, but it was $3, and it was kind of fun just to like pop it off the shelf and be like, oh, okay, you're coming home with me. And the last book I bought is one of my favorite authors of all time, and that is Brian Doyle. It's a collection of his short stories called Bin Laden's Bald Spot. Of everything that Brian Doyle writes, his stories are not my favorite, but I have made a pact with myself to read everything that Brian Doyle writes, literally, so like I have to, and I don't know what you're talking about. And also, I did enjoy The Mighty Currawongs, which is his other short story collection, or one of his other short story collections, and so like, yeah, I'm excited for this. Brian Doyle is one of my favorite authors, and you can't expect me to see this in the store at Powell's. They've never had this before, and I went in, and I was like, well, I'm getting that. Or no, he taught at the University of Portland. He's really cool. I don't know. I just really like Brian Doyle, so I picked it up. Oh, that's it. That's all the books I bought recently. That's a lot of books. So I've read a lot of books lately. I'm very excited. I love books. And so this has been a great month for me so far because I've bought so many books, but I really need to stop. So I'm gonna bub myself and not buy any more books for the rest of the month. Hopefully, maybe. Chances are I will buy more books, but I'm gonna try not to. I hope you enjoyed. If this is at all interesting, I don't know. I like watching book hauls, but usually they're book of the month advertisements, which is like, cool, hey, book of the month if you're calling. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna cry again. I think I'm just so happy because I love books, but it feels weird to cry about books. I cry all the time about books, but like, it feels weird. So I'm gonna get back to reading. Obviously, what else would I be doing? And yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Okay, bye.